Hey guys, it's me. Installment number 3 of our incoming first grade parent video. Listen, I want to talk to you about a couple other things. Every single week at the Power Plant, we do review games. You know, we want to see if what we taught your kids they were able to retain for an entire week. And so we talk about the things we discussed last week. And the kids that can answer that, they get a chance to play a game, a review game of some sort, competition, and most likely win a prize if they get it right. And so we want to look forward to that. It's also another good way, a good hook for you to talk about the lesson with your kid during the week. You can say, hey, you know what? You'll be ready to be called on to play the game and win prizes. So, you know, I understand sometimes it's hard to get them still, but this will help you. Be sure and let them know that you know they're going to have a chance to play and win. And, you know, go over the lesson with them, ingrain in them the things that we're talking about. What you say is much more important than what we say. Also, one of the things that's very, very important to me is worship. There is hardly any Sundays that we don't worship God. I mean, maybe one or two out of the entire year that something happens and we just don't get to worship the Lord. But when I say worship, we're going to call your kids down to front. We're going to ask them to worship God from their hearts. You have to know that God has called me to raise up a generation of passionate worshipers. I believe that. I really do. I want to tell you where that came from. Way back in my first place in Missouri, I was praying, and we had a lot of troubled kids. This was way back, 20 years ago. We had a lot of troubled kids, and then, as we know, even our church kids, and their parents are in church, they struggle. They have a lot of trouble. The world we live in is very, very un-Christ-like. Well, I was talking to the Lord about worship, and God really spoke to my heart. He said, son, I want you to raise up a generation that can find me with their eyes closed, in the dark, with everything around them swirling around. And I was like, okay, well, I understand, Lord, but how do you do that? He said, because the path from them to me is so well worn through their worship, approaching me time after time and again after again, that even in the dark, even surrounded by turmoil and trouble, they would be able to find me because the path is so well worn. And so I'm going to tell you, every week won't be a home run. Some weeks when we worship, it's just, sometimes it feels like going through the motions, but there are those weeks where the kids really connect with God. And I want to encourage you, the best thing that you can do, and it will be a little awkward at first, I know, but one of the best things that you can do is to worship with your kids at home. You know what I used to do with Jake? Because it just feels awkward, It shouldn't, but it does. We would just turn on some music that we like, and I would lie in bed with them. And we'd worship God, maybe one song or two before bedtime. I cannot tell you how important that is, what a difference that it makes. And parents, can I tell you something else? If a child has anything on their heart that happened throughout the day, it will come up during that quiet few moments before they go to sleep. That's your opportunity to really, really connect. Thank you. We look forward to seeing you again for our next video.